We're going to be working in Fusion 360 today, and we're going to be creating a little trash can for our PLA. Every time we use our printer, something comes off it and it's junk. So what I did was I downloaded a little lysol container thing so I could use those. It ended up being way too big, and it gave me an opportunity to make this right here and customize it. Now, OMB, that's me, Old Man Builds. So I put that on there. That's my logo. I'll show you how to do that. And we'll also look at how to make this thing. So let's go ahead and start from scratch. We're here. We're going to sketch, and we're going to go center of a circle. And you can put this on any plane that you'd like to. We want 137 as our outside dimension. Okay, we have that. Now what we want to do is the inside, and we want to see exactly how thick we want this. I want it to be 5 millimeters. So I'm going to go over to my offset tool, and I'm going to click the circle itself. Now, if you notice right here, it's going to give me positive, which will mess up my diameter of 137. So I want to go negative on this. So I'm going to go -5. That'll give me 5 millimeters. And we're set. Now I have 5 millimeters thickness in the outside. So let's take a look at this. Just going to go like this, and we want to hit extrude. So we want to hit the E. Now we're going to go out here and click it. And we want this thing to be 230 millimeters tall. We'll hit enter. And right now we have most of our cylinder. That's pretty good. It's a pretty easy project. Now we don't have a bottom on it, which is fine. We're just going to go over here. We're going to hit our edit on the sketch, and then we're going to extrude again. We're going to go right to the center here, and we just want to make this 5 millimeters. Now it matches the sides. That's pretty easy. Now we have our cylinder. It's closed in at the bottom. It's open at the top, and we look pretty good. Now, we want to clean this up a little bit before we move forward. We're going to go over here in the solid tab, and we're going to go right over here to the fillet feature. And we're going to go and look at this thing a little bit from the bottom. And we just want to hit this outside edge here. We're going to go in 3 millimeters. We'll take a look at this without the grid. So we'll go over here to the grid, and this very top one, we'll take out the grid. Go back over here to our orbit tool. And we'll just take a look at it. Has a pretty good curve on it. Not too big, because you don't want to mess with the 3D printer and putting curves in on the very bottom. It usually doesn't turn out well. But you can see we have a nice curve there at the bottom. So that's good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the top now. So we're going to finalize this. We'll hit exit so we can get out of the orbit tool just once. And then we're going to hit enter for OK. And we accept that change. So now when we look at it, we have it on there. We're good to go. All right. That was pretty simple. Let's go back up here to our fillet tool. We're going to then click our orbit. We'll hit escape once. So I just kind of did it backwards there just to show you that you could do this in a different way. I like to pick my tool and then go up and hit the orbit. Most people do it the other way around. Now I click both edges, the inside and outside edge. I'm just trying to make it curved one to the other. Let's go 1.5. What that did is it split our 3 that was on the bottom. No significant thing there. It's just that's the way I like to do it. And it rounded the sides, left it flat on the top. I prefer it being flat on the top. You can make the whole thing rounded. I find with PLA a little bit of flatness on the top's nice, especially if you go back and you go to smooth things. It's always better to have a little bit flat on the top. All right, so I like that. So I'm going to hit escape. Now I just once, then hit enter. Now we accepted that. Now all we have to do is put the lettering on it. Okay. I want to put my grid structure back on. I want to move this to the center. I go down to the hand. I left click and move it. I go back to the orbit tool and just straighten it out. Okay. That's probably good there. Now, we hit the front and we get a nice view of it, nice and squared up here. Right now, let's hit the L for line. And the only thing that we're going to get out of this right here, we're going to move it back. It likes to move it. Is anytime that you want to put something in and you need the total height of something, you can use the measuring tool, or you could just hit the line here, get it up to the height and see where it is. We would just want to put in a spot right here where lettering needs to be. That's it. Normally the outside piece that's going to go on here is right around here. And that's where the lysol container drops off at. So we know exactly where it is. We want our lettering to be anywhere up in here. You could put a logo on here or anything you want. I just like to put the simple letters on here. And I want it to be somewhere right around here. And this is just helping me find where I want to be. And as long as it goes up to the top around there. So anywhere in this portion here would be perfect. Okay, we're going to go up to the top here as we are in our sketch. And we just want to go to text. And we're just going to create our little text area here inside our parameters. Now look at the grid and line up each side. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you can put lines at the top. And that looks right there. Now, you want to work inside these little parentheses. Do not delete them, or else it'll totally screw things up and you'll wonder why it's not putting anything there. I'm going to go capital O, M, and B. So now you can see it showing up right here, OMB. Now I want it thicker, so I'm just going to go right here to this one. You can pick any one you want. Now the height of them. Let's go over to this. Let's go to 25. Made it bigger. I need it bigger than that. Let's try 35. And that's about the right size. Now, we could go like this. Just make sure it's in the center. We're good to go. I like that. Do I like how high it is? I actually do. If you didn't like it, you can always go back and change your parameters of how big everything is. Now, we got that. We want it in bold. And we look pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So, let's go ahead and click OK. And now it's there. But where it's not at is on the outside. So, let's go ahead and fix this. What we want to do here, get out of our orbit tool by hitting escape, hit the extrude tool, and just want to highlight it. Come over here to where it says profile plane, where it says start. Click that down. Go down to object. Now we'll click the outside of the container and we'll go 1 millimeter. And there you go. Now we have the outside is now saying the lettering. We now have the curves on the outside of our cylinder, so it looks great. And we're almost ready to go. We have one more detail to look at, and that's inside the center here. I just want to make one change. And I'll say on this real quick, just for the extruding and printing aspect of this, 1 millimeter comes out great on your 3D printer. It will do the overhang. You can also go backwards on that tool. So instead of putting positive 1 millimeter, you could put negative 1 millimeter and it'll engrave it inside of there. Again, 1 millimeter is good. If you go any more than that, when you get to 3D printing, you start to run into issues. you'll start to run into, I have to build a bottom piece to it to build up to the overhang. That's a mess. 1mm is great. I use a pen, it's a paint pen, and all I do is go on the outside of this and I use the paint pen. It works perfectly. And when I say paint pen, it's basically like it's like a highlighter or a permanent black ink marker. It has a nice tip on it and it's actual paint. So it'll go through and paint it. So they're real easy to use. Okay, so we got this. The last thing we're going to do here is we're going to go to the inside. And we just want to go back over to our fillet tool. And I want to catch this bottom ring, just right there. And I just want to give it a little bit of a curve. There you go, 3mm. And what that does is on the inside, it doesn't give you that sharp corner. So if you get anything in there and you want to clean this out, that roundness that's in there actually makes it easier to do. When it's squared, it means that you got to put your fingernail into the cloth and get it down into the corner. This makes it easier to clean. Never know what you're going to put in one of these things. That's just a preference thing on my part. You didn't have to do that. I like to do it. Take a look at our work here. Looks nice and clean. Let's go ahead and we're going to color this thing up a little bit. Straighten it out. And we're going to go to modify. We'll go to appearance. Now, I want two different colors here. I want these lettering to be one color, but I want the base to be a different one. So if you've never used this before, you go over here to this right here and you click on it, and you could basically move that on to anything that it highlights. I'm going to go over here and duplicate it. So I have a second one because I want two colors on this. Now I'm going to start with my second one. I'm going to edit, and you right click and get to edit. I'm going to go over to my silver. Just trying to get a nice looking silver color. And press OK. Now, I want this one, edit that one, and I'm going to put that one in the black range. You can see it already starts to black it out. So let's just go a little bit of gray so we can keep the difference in there. We can see our letters. I'm going to go over to this one. And I'm just going to come over here and highlight each one of these. And that's just by left clicking it. Then I'm going to left click and hold. And wait for it to light up the letters. There you go. Perfect. Let it go. Now the color's in there. Let me go over to my primary here and edit again. Now we can go back and change it to the more black as how it's going to come out in the PLA. And then we're done. Now, as you can see, we have a nice looking container. And we can build this out and print it off. And then once we do, we'll take a look at exactly what it looks like. Hopefully everybody understood everything here. If there's any questions, please leave a comment. And if you want any of these STL files, I put them on my Patreon. And you can go on there and support the channel here. It's $2 a month, and you can get every STL that I build on there for that. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the finished product when this is done. Here we can see our container. It looks really good. It fit inside this little Lysol container. If you'd like the STL file for that, it'll be in the description. And then I will link my Patreon for this file here for the container itself. And as you can see, our lettering turned out good. I want to thank everybody for watching today. And as always, have yourself a great day.